What do you think of masturbation?
Same principle that happens in celibacy. Same principle. So if somebody is masturbating and he's practicing some spiritual, same thing. There's a leakage of energy that is going to happen. So whatever I talked about right now in the course of a physical relationship, etc., remove the word physical relationship, add masturbation. Same thing. There's no difference. It is not going to make any other good or bad or anything. And I'm not talking even from a moralistic perspective. I don't care what anybody does in their privacy. But unrestricted, yes, definitely it is going to interfere with your process, with your sadhana at a higher stage. And one of the biggest disadvantages of unrestricted sexual encounters or masturbation for that matter is that, as I say, in the peak point of concentration, you should be like this. When you are sitting for your japa or yoga or meditation or whatever, at that peak moment, you should be able to forget the whole world. Even if that is for 2 seconds, then it is working for you. What happens with unrestricted, either whether physical encounters, unrestricted sexual encounters, or excessive masturbation, is that it is at that peak moment that your chitta, which is the kind of the mind that has impressions, it is going to throw up all sorts of images, and immediately it is going to break your concentration. Very minor thing, but your practice is already gone. You can pretend to the outside world that you are a great yogi and you are doing a lot of practice, but inside your practice is not working. So that is the problem. On the other hand, if you completely say that, oh, from today, no physical, no sex, no masturbation, no nothing, you have to become, I don't know what, 2 days you'll go crazy. Neither his mantra is going to work, neither the practice is going to work, neither this is going to work. So that balancing is important. And we live in that kind of an age where to sell a toothpaste, you have to put 2 skimpily clad women on the advertisement. Where is your celibacy going to come from?
Yeah. The society we live in stimulates us to shoot a load off.
That is where you have to maintain that common sense, use common sense and balance. And no point in the spiritual journey are you to give up your common sense. You will end up becoming a fool.
Yeah. Also, I mean, this is just a personal thought here, not learned from a book, probably learned from experiences. My thought is that if a spiritual truth does not make sense to you and your subjective reality, no one's asking you to accept it.
Yeah.
So if this is against your thoughts, don't accept it.
And I'm not even judgmental of people who say, by the way, just because I'm sure that a lot of people will see that there may be traditional people who have celibacy, they put it into a very high pedestal. I'm not being judgmental and all that. You do whatever you think is right for you. But if you're asking me, this is how you should approach in this age initially. And the impulse, celibacy comes naturally, by the way.
Yeah, that I was just like literally a second before you said that, I was thinking about the same thought that your libido, if you're involved in a yogic life, a spiritual life, a tantric life,
yes,
your lust settles down without any effort.
Yes. After a certain point of time, it will settle. Since we are on the topic, there are 2 other factors, by the way, you have to remember here. I think yesterday we were discussing about Pitrus, ancestors who are stuck in a Pitru Loka, who are not able to move forward. Very often, in many cases, an excessive amount of lust in an individual, whereas they may be practicing everything well, is basically a projection of the impulses of those Pitrus. And if it is the case, and that can be analyzed through various looking at the configuration of the planets at the time they're born and various other ways of finding out, that is the case, then the only way is to actually perform rituals in the right kshetra, the right place, so that the ancestors get reborn, and then it causes, you define it in whatever way you want, but then it has an effect that slowly, that libido or that excessive amount of, so normal lust is one thing, normal lust everybody has, but it goes beyond everything, all rationality, etc. Then it also comes down, things calm down a bit. That is one. The other is with age also libido kind of can taper off. For a person who is genuinely spiritual, yes, that is what is happening. For somebody who is not in the spiritual path, it's up to them. I mean, I have no judgment on what they are doing or not doing. It's completely their life, their choice.
Yeah.
But spiritually, this, so Pitrus are one of the things, by the way, that is there in quite a few cases. I've seen people who face sudden bursts of, whether it's excessive amount of lust or whether it's excessive anger or certain, and that also manifests a certain blockages in life in various stages, etc. Those go off only when the Pitrus, something is done to placate those Pitrus. Okay. And if that is there, if there's a normal amount of lust, then to look at it as a manageable thing, The other problem that happens, it tapers off of it on its own. It will in time. Okay, don't make it as a big thing in your head. That's the other problem that happens with a lot of spiritual people. I am not able to get out of lust, so you feel guilty about it. That is far worse than actually, indulging in physical relationship, sex, or masturbation or anything. After that, the guilt trip that happens to some people, that okay, I could not maintain celibacy, that is not going to help you. That is far worse.